Stinky Summer is super funny. How was Adam originally described to you?
So he was described to me as basically your typical bumbling bad guy, and in a family setting that painted a very specific picture for me that Amanda Raymond, the director, set forth. So I was very excited to jump in because physical comedy and slapstick are just some of my favorite things to do.
Was there anything then that you added to Adam that wasn't initially on the page?
Yes, me. I was added, and I think one of the things Amanda was really good about was just kind of letting Helen Day, my co-star who plays Lynn, and I just kind of do what we wanted to do. We vibed out and figured out how these characters were going to interact with each other and what they were after, and then kind of just giving the green light to be as cartoony and ridiculous as possible. We just kind of said, "All right, let's do this. This is going to be fun."
So the eye patch and the mustache was already there?
No, no, that was not. Those were all ideas that kind of happened on the fly. I think originally, I think I was just going to have a black eye, and I have this little, people trick where I can kind of do, a semi cross-eyed look for a very long time. So I was like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity for me to do that. And our makeup person, Emily Bravo, brought on this giant, ridiculous mustache that I was so happy to work with.
Does it take you putting on the mustache and the eye patch and maybe even the counselor outfit to find this character? Or is it easy since you've been working in such a wonderful career for so long?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think what was fun about this character in particular was that he's an international spy. And so he is pretending to be certain things at different times. So I had lots of wiggle room to play additional aspects of this character. And when Adam is trying to be a state trooper or, somebody collecting signatures, or just a burglar himself. He's always putting on a role, and so watching this character evolve over time with those facets was a lot of fun to play with.
With so much funny dialogue, was there room though to improv at all?
Oh yes, yes, we had lots of room to improv. In fact, there is at least one scene where it's almost nothing but improv, and I think that's where Lynn and Adam, played by Helen, Lynn and Adam are deciding who's going to go investigate whether a baby is afoot, if there's a baby wandering around, and so Helen and I just improvised off of each other, and that's one of the scenes in the movie I enjoyed the most because we're just being ridiculous and trying to figure it out on the fly. And sometimes improv is where the magic happens. But we had some really good one-liners too.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about working with Francesca. She's such a talented actress as well.
Yeah, it was my first time meeting Francesca and getting to work with her. She was a veritable professional on set, knew what she was doing, so it was very easy to work and do what needed to be done on the day. And yeah, she's got an amazing following. She's got an amazing career in front of her, and I think she's learning to be a screenwriter now. I think that's her latest endeavor. So very talented individual. I hope to work with her again someday.
Stinky Summer is just super funny. It's it had me in stitches, where you get those little laugh tears from cry, where you cry a little bit while because you're laughing so much. You talked about the baby scene, but is there something that really stands out that you're the most proud of the work you put into?
I mean, to be quite honest, the whole thing was just so enjoyable from beginning to end for me. I started in musical theater, moved on to film and TV, and then moved into production. And so the last feature that I worked on was probably about 10 years ago. So I've been doing voiceover almost exclusively since, and here in Los Angeles. And getting back to on camera, getting to do physical comedy like this, I just enjoyed the entire experience. But if I had to say one segment in particular, I'd say probably the grand finale of the feature. I won't spoil anything, but That was just utter ridiculousness at its peak. And I've got a face full of glitter and I'm so uncomfortable. And I just enjoyed those moments tremendously. We had puppeteers to work with from the Jim Henson Company. I mean, great, incredible actors like Helen Day that I had to work off of, Tawanda Underdo. It really was just kind of a little dream come true for me.
Amanda does such a great job of putting these scenes together and making it all so fascinating and funny at the same time. You talked a little bit about working with her, but how hands-on was she when she came to the scenes and sort of letting you do your thing?
I think if there was something that needed to be reeled in or something that needed more specificity, she right there, and she had a great crew of people to work off of. She was able to rely on the crew, which is really important for a director to be able to do. And so, from an actor's perspective, from my perspective, I enjoyed the work that we did, and we got it done.
Well, what do you think it is about Stinky Summer that's just going to make it such a fast fan favorite, funny family film? I know what I touched on a little bit, but is there something that stands out to you?
I think just the coming of age story. There's so many people who have gone to summer camp at some point in their life, or have had to do something that they really didn't want to do when they were about that age, and going through something as serious as having international spies coming after your dad's technology. That's very specific. I don't know if anybody's gone through that, but movies like Home Alone really capture that essence of having to dig your heels in and get stuff done. And I think the characters in this movie certainly had their challenges in front of them. And being one of those international spies, I just got my butt kicked all over by a bunch of kids. So this movie is definitely for the younger audience, not for adults. Adults get hurt in this movie, like me. But yeah, I think it definitely captures that essence of, like I said, Home Alone, and the fun of just beating up these bad guys.
What's next for you? What have you been busy working on?
Oh my goodness. Well, more voiceover work. I have some fun roles coming that I can't talk about until about 2025. And I'm in the midst of writing a children's book based off of characters that my late mother left me. And these were characters that she used to tell me bedtime stories about when I was a little kid. And so I really wanted to enshrine that moment, that spark of creativity where she would tell me those stories and the sound of her voice was the only thing that really mattered to me. So I'm very excited to hopefully get a literary agent sometime soon. The book is done and we'll see what happens next. But I'm excited about that. And of course, the release of Stinky Summer.
Absolutely. What would you like to say then to everybody who are fans and supporters of the wonderful work you do on our screens?
I would say, in my pal's voice, Donald, I just want to say thank you for following my journey, for being a part of the shenanigans. And I hope to continue to entertain you for years to come. And I thank you. Please follow me on social media at actor Daniel Ross. And yeah, thank you so much.